The pick ban phase, and well, are you surprised by that one, Jarrett?
Immediately ban Twitch again. Well, it worked for them last time. Make sure that he doesn't get his favorite champion, and of course followed by Kale, which has been banned just about every game this entire tournament.
I would say every team that is second pick actually bans Kale. I would say so.
Yeah, going by memory of this tournament so far, that's the way it's been going. It's been that second pick ban.
Followed by Thresh and Rise. So far, this is an exact mirror of the last picks and bans, right?
Yes, it is. So despite the fact they've switched sides, despite the fact there's a different order, that's a mirror. That, not so much.
Ban Bolivia. That means they want a first pick Elise, I think.
Yep, that's, they banned Elise last time around. It is.
I think Blaze will first pick Elise, I think so. Because they banned Bolivia. Let me see.
Wait for it. It's tense now. This is
it's really tense.
The moment of truth. Does Ocelot really know what he's talking about? Or is he making it all up?
Well, while we wait, during the break, Ocelot let me know that he's looking for a serious girlfriend.
Oh, come on, man.
And,
applications towards him.
Yes, you can send me all of your applications. Please include a photo. I'll pass it over to him.
Please include
Actually, Caitlyn locked in right away. They really want Captain Jack on Caitlyn.
So you mentioned, obviously, Caitlyn Rumble. That's the very strong strategy that you suspect a lot of these teams are going to go for. Is it strong enough that you expect SKT now to take it away? Is it going to be in this first 2 rounds? Or do you think they're going to form a different strategy of their own around that?
I'm just thinking right now, maybe they are thinking about, we don't want SK Telecom to pick the Caitlyn Rumble combo. So maybe we pick Caitlyn right now, they pick Rumble, and then we can go for Elise, which is pretty good against Rumble. I don't know. We will see. It's a lot of strategizing behind this that we really don't know. They probably have been practicing strategies during like weeks even. So yeah. It's really much deeper than what we are talking about right now.
So what's the advantage of picking Lulu like that? Like a champion's not exactly OP, or you know, does she make that much of an impact? I mean, Shen's still on the table and Miss Fortune's in there, and they're picking Lulu.
Well, if you ask me, I would say that before this tournament, I would say Lulu is not that good in my eyes. But I'm just seeing the way they engage with Lulu, and it's really crazy. Lulu plus Chinsao is really good. Lulu plus Yavin even.
With Lion, really strong. For the same reasons. You've got that Assault and Battery in onto an AD carry, and as soon as they land from her knock-up, Lulu's going to knock them straight back up again.
He has a lot of range. Lulu ulti has a lot of range, and he's like the Q of Alistar. He's like a knock-up, you know? And I really like it. Like, right now, I really love Lulu, and I hope we end up playing her.
So we do see that Kha'Zix pick there come out of Ambition alongside Helios' Xin Xiao. Kha'Zix, we've seen him in the mid lane. Alex has actually tried a couple of times in their game. He came up against a lane swap from Frost. They stuck Lulu and Ezreal in the lane against him in the mid lane and completely shut him down. He couldn't farm. They took his turret very early, put a lot of pressure onto him there. Do you think SK Telecom are going to have to do that, or are they going to put their Lulu and AD carry, whoever that ends up being, somewhere towards the top lane and take that early tower like they did before?
I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure. Right now, I think they're just picking strong champions, but again, I might be wrong because there's a lot of deeper stuff that we don't know. So I need to see the whole team setup to see if it makes sense and how it does.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Xin Xiao then, I want to talk before they go through the last picks. He is arguably considered one of the strongest champions in the league right now. He's been almost 100% pick ban rate throughout the course of this tournament. What exactly makes him that? Is it the fact that it's the lack of skill shots, it's very easy to land all your abilities, he's got a lot of CC and a lot of utility, or is there something a lot deeper into that?
I think the E is really strong. It's a really good engage, but not only that, there's a very good point, which is you can play him top as well. So when you first pick him, you really don't know if it's going to be jungle or top lane.
And again, sorry, Jared, but Jax, we've seen it a couple of times. Kind of been an underwhelming performance. He's fallen off since the days when it was just first pick the Jax and sit in the top lane, farm up, and then go God mode 1v5 teams. Guardian Angels, Trinity Force, that's all he needs to start destroying people. But his Korean teams still seem to have a little bit of faith in it.
Well, I think picking Jax right now is a good idea because, first of all, if Blaze picks a good champion against Jax, they're gonna not swap lanes. They're gonna swap lanes again. And if they don't pick a good champion against Jax, they're gonna just 1v1 him. So I think it's a very strong situation for Telecom right now. And Sinch pick, I'm not so sure about how is the matchup right here, but all I know is that Jax is better 1v2 than Sinch is.
Yeah,
so
we saw obviously Gambit again trying Sinch versus Jax. They had that Jax to start with, but it still took a lot of attention from Diamond Proxy's Volibear to even try and level that lane out. Admittedly, Cloud Templar was up there a lot as well on his own Xin Xiao, so it was a very, I don't want to say 2v2 lane, but the junglers had to give a lot of help to their top laners. So we'll see if that's the same here as you say, or if the swaps. But Suno, we've seen him play.
Okay, I think this is gonna be like Karus is not so good against Kha'Zix mid lane, so I would say that this could be a Karu's bottom, and they probably swap lane 2v1 mid lane could be, because pushing against Kha'Zix is very strong early level. Could happen.
That's exactly what we saw from before. They put Carthus down in the bottom lane, but their AD carry and support, I think it was actually top in that one, but in this situation, mid against Kha'Zix makes a lot of sense. Suno does well, sits down there, farms, plays very safe, just like he does in Lux. Once the whole swaps down the tower zone, switches back to his mid and carries on farming. And
I actually see a problem, because Zona and Kaden are very strong pushing. So, honestly, we will see what happens.
Do you have any predictions for the outcome of the whole match?
I honestly like more the setup of Blaze.
You?
I like SKT setup just because it's that little bit different because of the Carthus that we don't see from many other teams here. They've still got Vi, who's great fun. So I want them to level it out and take us to a third game.
All right, well, let's see what happens. The game is loading. Our casters are ready. Once again, it's Joe Mailer and Jason Kaplan. Take it away, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. So game number 2 then of Blaze versus SK Telecom T1. Jason, we've heard from the analysis desk what their favorites are and how they like these setups. What's your opinion on this?
I'm just going to go ahead and agree with the pro player. I'm going to go with Blaze. You can't really go wrong there. But, I mean, we have Flame on Singed again. We have Ambition on Kha'Zix. And if you go head-to-head against Carthus, that's going to be really disappointing, I think, for Suno.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this one's all going to work out, but one thing's for sure is that SK Telecom T1 need a victory here to force us through into that third game. I'd like to see it as well. Obviously, we have a best-of-5 grand final coming up afterwards. CJ enters Frost already waiting in that one. The question is it going to be an all CJ enters final?
Yeah, very well could be, and it'd be a rematch of, I believe it's OGN winner 2012 of that when they played head-to-head against each other. But anyways, we still have this game to go through, and SK Telecom, just like I said, have to get a win here. And with their composition, I mean, we've seen Jax yesterday in the Gambit versus Frost games, and we were not really impressed by it at all. Just a champion right now in Season 3.
Yeah, Jax, as Panky rightly mentioned, that his win rate, I think we can say, is pretty low, round about the 0 mark. If
the lowest you can get.
Not so wrong with that one. But what do you expect at level 1? Can we expect any action? I mean, we've seen the wards coming down there from SK Telecom over by the Wraiths.
Well, it looks like Blaze just being very aggressive. They're warding. Actually, both teams warded the same spot towards that Wraith camp. But SK Telecom invested one more into that little area we walked by as they are heading up towards this top side. It looks like the teams are just going to pretty much go right around each other. But with those wards, they're going to have that vision. Starless still has 4 wards on him at the moment. And Lust Boy is just sitting on that pink ward and that regular sight ward, and not to mention the Explorer ward. So SK Telecom will have a lot more vision as the game goes on. Oh, sorry, as the game starts.
Hopefully as the game goes on as well from their
we'll see.
Side of things. We'll have a look. We'll see what goes down. But right now, both teams just settling into their early game starts. Helios looking like he's going to be starting out. The Golems there on the bottom side. SK Telecom, obviously their jungle up Beelzehan, going to be starting out by the Wolves. And Jason, another Singed in here. I've posted a lot on Twitter just writing Singed. And that could be the case here. I might have to make that post again after this game.
You might very well indeed. I mean, we've seen Shy and Flame both playing extraordinary Singed, and he will be going head-to-head against Suno in the top, and as we do see Ambition to be going down at the bottom. And I'm not sure if he's... Okay, so he will be going against Raven and Starlost yet again. But Jax, I mean, we know he needs farm. We know he needs that lane to really get farmed up, really get the items to do some damage, as we do see him heading up towards the top side. So Reaper is going to be behind already off the bat, as he will be, I think, a full level behind at this point, Flame. And then we do see Suno 1v2 in the mid lane. Karthus, it's really easy at farming under tower, but he can be easily harassed right now by Sona and Caitlyn.
Yeah, he's going to be very, very squishy at these early levels of Starlast. Having a bit of fun there in the bottom lane with that Lulu, but Ambition also going to have a bit of a tough time in these early levels.
And I'm not too convinced on this so far off the bat, but it all comes down to Beelzehan, who's, like I was saying before in last game, he's really impressed me throughout this entire tournament. And on Vi, she's such a strong, strong early aggressive jungler, can really create some kill opportunities, not to mention that mid lane. If you see Suno get a nice wall, could have something happen there, or even in the top lane with that blue buff and with that counter-strike off Reaper.
Well, we'll see where the early focus comes down from the junglers. Right now, Vi is around the Wraiths. They know his position because of that ward that they put down before we got into level 1. Actually, 3 wards on the top side of the SK Telecom jungle. So Blaze going to be keeping nice tracks on Vi, at least on that side of things. But how are they going to stop this turret going down here? Because it's already less than half health.
I don't think they really can. We do have, though, currently Biselchan heading down towards this bottom side. No ward's currently there to spot it, as Helios is going to show himself just to kind of hold off this push, this aggression that SK Telecom is throwing at them in the bot lane. And you do see that, Biselchan backs off and is heading towards the mid lane, should be spotted by that ward, and I believe he was, in fact, but still trying to get behind him.
Still trying to get in there behind that Sona. Who actually comes across there. Lustboy just having a look to make sure that they're not going to push too early. Here comes the vault breaker in towards Captain Jack. They've managed to lock him down. Heal comes out from Sona though, and he's all good.
And he's got a lot to stay in that lane. With that Doran's Blade as well, you cannot really be pushed out of lane at this point, especially by Karthus. And we're going to have to see if Biselchan's going to stick to that lane and keep committing to helping out Suno, or maybe help out Reaper, who, like we were saying before, already a level behind and is having a tough time this top lane already down over half the CS.
Half the CS, as you said, and not a good sign overall, but we know how beastly Kha'Zix can be later on when he's able to get in there, jumping in, causing all kinds of problems with those recesses. He actually is going to jump in towards Starlads here. Ignite is down, flash away there. Raven actually taking a lot of damage here, but he's going in on towards Ambition, who's going to be fine for now. Can they get the first blood? Yes, they can. Helios gets that, and to be honest, he may be able to even pick up the double kill here as the knockup comes in on towards Starlads. There is the double kill for Helios. Dream start from CJ Blaze.
And SK Telecom getting a little too comfortable in that bottom lane. Didn't really expect them to go for that hard engage. Ambition did a nice job baiting him in with that leap, and Helios just cleaned that up by himself, getting those 2 kills from getting 2 assists over to Ambition, and that is going to make it so he can easily do this 1v2 lane as they are pushing this turret very quickly, but Biselchan will be there to stop it. And in the meantime, we did see mid turret go down for Blaze as well. So they have that turret, they have the first 2 kills, they have a lot of gold right now to spend.
Yep, a lot of gold to go back with on this first round of buys. We've seen the Doran shield coming straight out there from Sona. The Vamp Scepter and Boots for Caitlyn. So that's a really, really nice start to having this top lane Flame versus Reaper in there, of course. And, well, we've seen how effective Singe has been up until now here in the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Somehow don't see it being that much different in this one either.
Yeah, I think it all depends on as the game progresses. And I think mostly the mid game, who can get the most farm. You know, Singe to be just so annoying. You can't push him out of lane. And we are seeing that lane swap kind of happen. We see Captain Jack and Lustboy heading down towards this bottom side. And that allows Ambition to go head-to-head against Suno. And he already has his 2 assists. He has a tier. He's behind in levels at this point, but it doesn't matter. It's a Karthus. If he gets in there, he's going to just destroy him 1v1.
Raven already taking a lot of damage in this one. We've got Singe out coming in from that backside. See what CJ Blaze do with this opportunity. Actually, in the end, we are going to be seeing him go away. Karthus coming down to the bottom lane, though.
It looks like they're going to go back to a lane switch as well. And Sunen's going to go 1v2 yet again. And he already lost that mid turret. He might lose another turret on top of that.
Going 1 versus 2 to lose the turret.
Yeah.
Or what?
Looks like it. I mean, they're really trying to keep Ambition behind. As you see Flame, he's going to get ganked in the top lane.
He's going to get ganked in the top lane. Let's see if they can actually lock him down. Counter-Strike goes off there. Good damage. Well, there is the ghost popped. And Singe walks away again.
You say that with a smile on your face. Just see him trolling right there. With that ghost, very low cooldown. It's really hard to gank him. That Counter-Strike is their only hard form of CC until Biselchan hits that level 6. And we do see Dragon already started since they had that vision on the jungle being the top side of the map. And that should be the first Dragon of the game going over to Blaze.
Well, will be as they take it down. Saw how low Reaper actually got there in the end in his top lane. Look, he basically got no health after that little exchange, and that was 2 versus 1 versus Singe. We saw, you know, a lot of, I guess we can say different builds coming out. There's a one Singe game where we saw 700 HP, that would be pretty low anyway. AP, obviously, is what I mean.
Bot lane Joe.
And that was just a massive, massive win for him. As Suno going to get pressured here underneath the turret. The Piltover Peacemaker comes in there, is ace in the hole. Suno is managing to stay alive, but he's been chased down and he walks straight onto the trap. And you don't escape from that one.
No,
Here comes
the
ultimate down, but, well, it's going to do basically nothing.
And we saw Helios actually steal away that blue buff on top of that, so now Suno is even further behind at this point. He needed that blue to really go into this 1v2 lane and survive it easily, but now being ganked yet again, going down. And CJ Blaze is going to pick up another turret. So might we see the AD carry support go top and then also Suno go up there to lose that turret? Or I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen here.
Well, he's been true to form at least right now. He's got in that 2v1 lane. Lost the turret both times in a row. Ambition going to have his blue. And, you know, Blaze, they had a very solid first game, but this game is looking like I don't know, even more solid. And it looks to me as though the AD carry and support is going to be going towards that top lane. So we'll see if we can find a 3 out of 3 for Blaze.
Yes, indeed. And Flame, I'm curious to see, will he go down towards his bottom lane and use that as a lane to just pretty much free farm for himself? He already has a Catalyst. He's doing very well in his build. If you look at the gold difference he currently has, 3,100 gold to the 1,900 of Reaper. That is ridiculous. You never want to see a Singed that far ahead. He's going to become that much more of a nuisance, and he's going to have a free lane to farm as well.
Yeah, my point before we saw that gank in the bottom lane, we've seen a lot of differences in builds. I mean, going straight in towards Rabadons and what have you, that was earlier on. And you just can't, number one, you can't really kill him, and number two, he can really kill you. We saw 1 versus 4s with Singe where he got like 3 guys low before he actually died in the end, and that's just the power of Singed.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's not even building any tank items. He didn't have, actually, every Singe we've seen so far had 0 tank items. That's just because of that regen. During that ultimate, it's ridiculous. We do see gank on the mid lane. Reaper might get caught here, but flashes over that wall.
Yeah, has to flash away from that one. Obviously, doesn't have the safety of the tower behind him that was taken earlier on. But at least SK Telecom seem to learn from their mistakes, I think we can say, early on, of having that Karthus in that 1 versus 2 lane. Lost the 2 turrets behind him. This time, though, the AD carrying support there. The CS actually between the AD carries is very level right now. But the difference is pretty big. I mean, Pickaxe, Vamp Scepter, Single Doran's Blade plus the boots compared to Double Doran's Blade, Dagger, and the boots of speed over for Varus.
And Helis looks like he's just tagging along with CJ Blaze here in this top lane with the AD carrying support. It's always going where they are currently. We do have Kha'Zix getting caught.
Yeah, Kha'Zix is going to get caught. Jumps in there. There's a crescendo. Flying the wrong way completely out of Lustboy. And that is a 4-on-3 in this top lane now. Can they get in there? Jack's going to dive. There's a wild growth. He's going to get knocked back, but Lustboy's going to fall as well. Helios and Captain Jack trying to run for their lives here. In the meantime, though, Singe is pushing that middle lane out.
Yeah, he just farmed up the entire enemy jungle, pushed middle as well. 102 CS and a great play by... Actually, sorry, you might see them actually dive him on turret.
Well, I'm not sure this is the safest thing to do here, to be honest with you. Helios getting out of range of that counter-strike. We've got Captain Jack moving in there. They may try and go for kills. I mean, SK Telecom
here comes
not
Singed.
exactly healthy at this point. Singed is going to be coming in there. Does he have the ulti available? Yes, he's already running. There's the glue. They get slowed down, but can they get in for the kill? Flame going to finally go through. Gets stunned up there, but he's going in towards Bielzian. Gets the flip off. Karthus ulti going to come down. Flame did manage to pick up the kill. Captain Jack, though, oh, he's gone over the trap, but he will die in the end. Singe going to die to Karthus. That's a big win out for SKT.
And he picked up a 3 for 2 right there, even with Singe coming in with that full health with that ghost. We do see Ambition pushing this mid lane, just getting that... Well, he's actually not going to... Okay, I would say, wasn't going to harass turret, but as you do see, he's going to be attacking a little bit. And that was, I have to say, a kind of major misplay to Blaze and a good turnaround out of SK Telecom to just use all their ultimates and their positioning to their advantage.
Yeah, you've always got to factor in that Karthus ultimate as well, that, you know, you feel like, all right, we just did a great fight, we managed to get kills, and we survived with such little H. Oh.
Well, at least luckily for them, they have been able to shut Suno down so far in this game. He is finally catching up in CS, though, as we do see the Rod of Ages finally done for Flame now. I think he might be going for a tier.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been seeing generally coming out of these Singes. Obviously, easy to stack up there for a Singe. And in the end, worth it. We've seen most of them going straight in towards that Zenith's Embrace. And what other items do we have here? Both junglers picking up the Giant's Belt. Zin is a little bit behind there in terms of farm, but he is 4-1-1 at this point. Got that Kindle Gem, Magic Razor, got the Giant's Belt in as well, as we are going to see Reaper going in on towards Ambition. The counter-strike going to go off, and he will end up dying there. Helios now in a little bit of trouble as well. Lulu coming across to just back this one up. Helios, is he going to be able to get away? No, he won't. Reaper picks up the kill. And SK Telecom doing a good job here in terms of picking up those kills.
Yeah, great turn. Oh, top lane Capture does get caught, but Raven didn't go for it.
Wow, that was ridiculously good there from Captain Jack. I cannot believe he's come out on that one. The fact is, the 90 caliber net sent him into the brush, and the ultimate went down from Varus. Captain Jack might even get himself another one here onto Starlass, with Lustboy coming up here as well, if they can manage to pin him down. There's a crescendo.
The crescendo. Not hitting right there. But they will be able to push out that top turret. They might be able to get it as well as Starless. With those double buffs, probably looking very juicy for them to pick up. We do have Jax, we do have Beazelhan heading up towards the top side, and Flame, he is just still farming away. 128 CS at this point, leading the game, and Reaper, he's coming around the backside to go for this gank. Yeah, he's not going to be spotted.
Not going to be spotted here. Blaze to have vision of that as early as they possibly can. There is Jack spotted, and you see that Blaze just backing away, but look what they're going for here. Dragon number 2 looking like it's going to go to Blaze.
That is a nice bit of extra gold for them. I mean, we had SK Telecom finally fighting back right now. But still, they can't afford to make mistakes. They had a great counter gank out of Beazelhan in that mid lane, as we saw, picking up those 2 kills. And that's what they need to keep doing. They keep picking them off one by one. They'll easily get back in this game and easily be able to go up against the team fighting power that Blaze has and hopefully deal with Flame.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. Still not convinced, as Beazelhan is moving in towards that top lane now and is in the end just going to go back. Actually, Helios coming up here. Saw the fallback pings coming in. Bot breaker just used to get to safety by Beazelhan, and there is the blue buff picked up as well for Kha'Zix.
Flame still pushing up this top lane. That's what pretty much all Singes have done all weekend, and just take one lane and constantly pressure it away from where your team's going.
Pretty much all Singes have done ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the thing is, they keep sending their team towards the top side of the map, the middle of the top, and he just pushes the bottom. If they want to go for a bottom push, he'll just switch up and go towards the top, and he's really trying to create a split push. And the thing is, when you do that, no one at SK Telecom can go head-to-head against him. No one can go 1v1. So they have to send multiple people, which makes it so the rest of CJ Blaze can take down turrets or take down objectives.
Well, that's the thing, you can't kill him, especially when you look and he's got his ultimate and Ghost available. Like, you just don't catch a Singe that way. We have seen him pick up that tier. We have seen him pick up the blasting one as well on his last trip home. So he's going to be even stronger coming in. But this is actually going to be the first turret of the game for SK Telecom, taking on that top outer turret.
And off of that, I'm trying to think of what they can go for next. They could go for a mid push, but still, I don't really think they have the damage just yet. I think they have the control to win the fights, but if Flame gets in the mix, you can't really win the fight in the end because of that ambition. Oh, he didn't steal away that big raid. But Suno, he's been doing as much as possible, just trying to farm up. He's going for that Rod of Ages. He's going for pretty much the exact same build him and Singe are going at this point. And we'll see how farmed he really gets. He has that exhaust, has that flash. He wants to be in the middle of the team fight, but we'll see how it kind of develops with the damage that Blaze has.
And we are going to see the ultimate coming out. Varus on towards Captain Jack. He's in a lot of trouble. Karthus ulti going to come down. Not going to be needed. Actually, he did pick up the kill there in the end. Defensive crescendo comes out. Makes them dance. And Lustboy going to walk down the river in towards that middle lane.
And Flame, he's keeping a ward on him constantly. He's actually, well, he was chasing out. Oh, we do see actually Ambition getting caught in the mid lane. Beazelhan trying to chase him down.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he can get the kill, especially with the rest of the team coming in. Here comes Flame from the side. He is sprinting up towards him. Ignite goes down. There's the flip. Kill for Ambition. They may even manage to. Great read from Flame, knowing that the Reaper was going to jump away. The slow comes in. There's the flash over.
And in the meantime, SK Telecom T1 pushing that top lane, and they might be able to get this turret, as no one is really there to stop them from Blaze, but they're going to be pushing their middle turret as well, going for pretty much trading a tower for a tower here if they get it.
Oh, but more than that, going to come in here as Helios comes in the back. Suno going to get very, very low from this one. Is he going to be finished off? Yes, kill comes down. Reaper will pick up a kill, but he dies straight away after that as well to Singe, and this is going to be the inner turret in that middle lane. Caitlyn stopped the bottom push coming in. And I just want to say that it may sound like I'm being biased towards Singe, and that's because I am.
At least you're being honest with us.
I love Singed. What can I say?
Oh, I'm starting to love him a little bit more too. As we've seen him throughout this entire tournament. I always hate going up against him, but he's always fun to play. And as you can see, he's pushing out this bottom lane a little bit. It was a great, reaction of SK Telecom when they saw that fight happen in middle. We just had Varus and Lulu constantly push up and try to get another turret off of that.
So what are SK Telecom going to do here? We've got a lot of gold to be spent on the Blaze side. We're 990 kills, almost a 5,000 gold lead, though, for CJ Blaze. And that's what we saw in that last game, that SK Telecom were doing well in the kills, but everything else was just going the way of Blaze. They're so regimented here. They've managed to create openings all over the map, and it looks like they will manage to get that next turret here in just a little while. We are going to see Raven coming in there. Captain Jack, actually, he's going to get away with the 90 caliber net, and then the flash.
And the top turret did fall in the end from that because they ran away to chase him down. In the meantime, we do see two members of Blaze pushing up this middle lane, and Beazelhan going for a little bit of a different build that we've seen more most buys go, at least in the LCS, or LCS, we've seen more of like an Aegis, more of a little bit of a defensive build, but we've seen Spirit of the Ancient go and build twice now, I believe, over this entire tournament, and I'm kind of curious about that.
They've lost a blue buff here as well again, as he was picked up in the end by Kha'Zix. That's, well, bad news, I think we can definitely call it, without that Karthus being able to get in there.
He just walked in the bush, and then you see him walk away with his head down. It's like, oh, it's not there anymore.
Sad time. Singe going back into lane to farm. He's up to 180 CS to the 84 of Jax. That is a massive advantage that he has. Flame already getting in there onto that Archangel. You can see on the scoreboard the cooldown. You know, the 3 seconds that you have there to stack it up is just going over and over and over again. The joys of the poison.
Yeah, and what's funny is that Blaze, they haven't really, well, sorry, it's mostly Flame. He hasn't really cared about teamfight and all. He's come in when they wanted to go for something major, but other than that, when it's every sort of engagement going on the map, he just keeps pushing a lane. He just keeps throwing on SK Telecom there to do something about him as he's going after Suno here, but that wall of pain able to slow him down just enough.
Yeah, just about sorting him out in that one, but that's the danger. I mean, Suno would lose a lot of health if they manage to get the fling onto him there. That's the problem with Singe, that he is innately tanky, especially when you've got that Rod of Ages in there finished, and also can put out the constant damage, the annoyance of that one. As we are seeing Lustboy here, just putting a ward down in towards Dragon. He's got the Oracle on right now, so Blaze going to be looking to make a play here shortly.
The question is, can they actually have this team fight happen and come out ahead in it? We do have Reaper coming down, but we have all 5 members of CJ Blaze coming in as well. And we might see an engagement here, but I don't think this is one that SK Telecom can really win.
No, I don't think so either. The fact that Xin is 5-2-1 right now, got that locket in there, got the Giant's belt in there, I don't think they should feel quite so safe to be going for a fight around this Dragon Area's ambition here. It's going to put down the Void Spanks, leaps away from Reaper, who's going to go back in there, and that could have been a bit of a mistake for this one. They're going to follow up. There's the Wild Growth coming in. Helios going to put the ultimate down. Where is the rest of Blaze? They need to get involved. Varus ultimate completely whiffed as they go in towards Raven. Here comes Singe, gets the flip on one of them. He has got that ultimate running. He's got Ghost running. He's going to keep himself in front of them, get that poison ticking away. 2 kills up until now for Blaze, for nothing, for hardly any health even being taken away from them, and Flame is going even further. Is he going to be able to get in towards Reaper? Not quite. He just gets away, but Starlass might not be so lucky. The glue comes down. Glitterland's not enough to stop him. He's like, well, a turret. Well, should I go in? No, decides against it, and that is because Blaze are doing the Baron.
Oh, but Suno is sticking around. He doesn't want to let them get this for free. He's going to face check this, and I'm not sure if he can survive here. As you see Kha'Zix jumping behind him.
Yep, and he's going to last about 30 seconds before he dies from this one. And, well, the good thing is he's caught this after all. He's going to get the ulti up. There was the heal. Lustboy surviving just about.
With 20 health right there. Great job. Well, I have to say, great job by Suno to stop them from doing that Baron. That worked out completely for him in the end. Yeah, he did die, but 1 death versus 5 Baron up CJ Blaze members. You'll take that.
Yep. And they will take that forward. Let's have a look down the kills here at the moment. 314 for Singe, 523 on Sin. You can see the gold and how that translates. I mean, the top lane, Jax, we talked about how underwhelming Jax has been so far in the tournament here at the Intellectual Masters World Championship. Seems to be the current trend. I mean, 9,000 to, let's call it 6,000 gold here. That's a big lead for Singe. Obviously, has a 118 million lead at this stage. That's ridiculous.
He's behind by 3,100 gold on top of that, Joe. And you can't really afford to do that. I mean, when you have your solo laners who you depend on so much to really carry the game, you can't afford to fall as far behind. Ambition getting caught by Reaper, and he has that red buff available.
Well, you say caught, but it was all just an elaborate trap to kill Reaper off. Ambition gets that one. That will put him up to 336, and he wanted to go home before, and now he's going to go home with a little bit more to spend. Brutalizer, that Bloodthirster, and the tier already in there for Ambition. What's he going to finish off first?
I think, well, he does have that Bloodthirster. I think he's going to maybe work for a little bit towards tank, as he's been the target to kill so far. Captain Jack's been, far enough from the back where he hasn't really been attacked too much. Dragon is being started by Blaze, and we do see the Warden's Mail coming out for Flame, so it looks like he's going to go for that Randuin's. So if you ever do hit him, you're going to get slowed. It's pretty much bypassing the Riley's Crystal Scepter, and it's going to work out really well for him, not to mention the attack speed reduction on Jax and on Varus.
Yeah. said maybe going tanking. He's like, you what, Jason? I'm a Black Cleaver, son. I'm going to kill all the things in this game. We'll see how that one works out for them. 13-9, they're up in kills. 40,000 to 30,000 gold. 4-2 in turrets, all good in Blazer's HUD right now. Flame going to be pushing down that bottom lane. As per usual, no real surprise on that one. He's up now 830 CS over Jax. Going to keep going in there. Jax like, I don't want to get involved in this one. I can't really deal with that. And, well, the trick is there when you're Jax underneath your turret is to get in the poison so that the tower actually starts hitting him. At least that's my reason for
no, this is a bait.
Yeah, but this is going to be a bait, and Singe just turns it around, gets the glue, Virus ulti comes in, Flip comes down onto Reaper, Crescendo came over the wall, Captain Jack gets the kill with the 90 caliber net there in the end, and that is going to be a big win once again. One kill, might even be more. Another Flip over the top from Flame, and that is two. Reaper and Bielzihan both very low, even just getting slowed there in the end. And that is going to be the finisher. Meanwhile, Ambition pushing the top lane in. He's going to take a breath to evolve a little bit. But Blaze are pushing all over the map. They're looking like ridiculously, obviously strong, but they're looking like the stronger team by quite a long way, I have to say.
Yeah, and I think it came down to Champions like just with the Jax. I mean, I love what SK Telecom T1 was trying to go for. They have the Vi who goes in very easily. You have that knockup, and you need someone to come in with you, which is what Reaper's job is to do. But Joe, they didn't factor in the Singe. Oh, Ambition.
And, well, he's going to flash away from that one. Jack's actually going to flash in there. There's a Void Spikes to get the slow. The leech strike comes in from Reaper. Ambition running away with hardly any health. Gets another slow down, but Reaper able to pick it up.
And able to get a much-needed kill at this point. He does have the Hextech Gunblade as his first real built item. We do see the Static Shiv finally coming in for Raven, but the Mirror Mana now finished for Ambition. He's like, you know what? Jason said I'm going to go tank. I'm just going to go full damage at this point.
Yeah, no real problem with that one. We've seen more giant spells picked up. Yeah, one on Zin, one on Singed. What else do we have finished? Last Whisper, Zeal added to the Bloodthirster for Caitlyn. Compare that over to Varus, who has Bloodthirster and the Static Shiv. For Karthus, he's gone in for that Seeker's Arm Guard, building up towards the Zhonya's. And, well, to be honest, he really needs it at this point. He's been stripped down by Kha'Zix every time.
I believe, if I remember correctly, Blaze has stolen every blue buff away from SK Telecom T1.
I think they got one, but your point still stands even if they only got one.
Well, so I think Suno's gotten 0 at this point in the end, which is devastating. You can't really afford to let that happen. Karthus needs that blue buff. I mean, the cooldown reduction alone on the ultimate is very necessary, because when you have one major team fight, the ult is used, you're going to need it up for that next one. Not to mention he's pretty much destined to go straight into the team and just do as much damage as possible. Going for that Zhonya's just so he can, pop that as well, just to keep the damage going in. But he's just been set so far behind because of that.
I mean, even if you forget the kills and the turrets and the dragons and what have you, just look at the farm here. I mean, Blaze are a million miles ahead in that respect.
Yeah, very true indeed. We have Reaper. He does pick up a giant spell with those home guarded boots. He's trying to get back in the game. I mean, he has quite a bit of assists and he has 3 kills, but I mean, that's not enough compared to the 251 farm advantage that Flame has. It's really hard to come back from that point, and it's hard enough being Jax as well in Season 3. Like, he just didn't really benefit too well off of the new items.
Phantom Dancer picked up then in the end by Caitlyn. Singed also finishing that random. So all he needs is a Crystal Scepter, and it's like, well, I hit you and you're slowed. You hit me and you're slowed. You're never going to get away. That's how it's going to go down. As Baron was warded up there. We see Sona with the Oracle just clearing things out. Same though on SK Telecom side of things. And what a surprise, Singed is pushing that bottom lane out again.
Yeah, and CJB is just waiting for him to get up there as they're going to let this Singe push, and then they go for Baron. When anyone at SKT does back away, they go for an engage on a Baron, but still Flame is just pushing this lane. You have to send someone back to deal with him. And there goes Reaper. But he's not going to be able to do anything. You have to send more than one, and even then, if you send 3, you're still potentially not going to kill him.
Yeah, and not having Reaper in there could be a big deal for them as well. That AoE stun obviously coming out of the Counter-Strike will be very important for them. And Flame just backs away. Baron going to be started here by Blaze. Can they pick this one up? Going to take them a little while to be getting it down. And SK Telecom waiting off to the side as they Ward comes over the top, and they decide to back away. Here is Flame, actually. He's going to go deep on towards Reaper. Can he finish it off? Turrets, you say. Flame does not give a crap whatsoever. Going to get the kill with a poison. Walks out once again. Singed.
The ultimate troll right there. He popped his Saracen Brace at the last second as Karthus ulti was coming in to getting that kill, and they will hopefully pick up this Baron. As you do see, Beazlehan going in from the side. They might be able to steal it.
Nope, they won't be able to steal this one. As Beazlehan going to go down. There is a kill, though, coming on towards Xin Zhao, but they may turn around, get even more from this one. Wild Growth goes on towards Raven, flashes left, right, and center. Singe gets himself one kill in that. That was a turret kill. Good one, Joe. As double kill for Caitlyn. There we go. That was better. But Flame is still pushing.
Yep, ended up getting an ace, ended up getting Baron and the turret off of that. That inhibitor will be going down. They should be able to pick up another inhib off of this with that middle lane push. Reaper coming up in 2 seconds, but there's nothing he can do against these 4 members of Blaze. As Beazlehan, 10 seconds on him as well. Just pretty much straight tank, won't have any damage to do anything here.
Sorry, Jason, just spilled water on myself in the excitement of the moment there, as we are going to see first Nexus turret going down. This is looking like it could be the end for SK Telecom T1 at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. There is Beelzehan going down. Lulu, the last one alive, but the Nexus is going to get focused, and Blaze are going to move through into the grand final here to take on CJ Enters Frost.
And that is going to be a very interesting match indeed. SK Telecom, they played extremely well though. Day one, we were so surprised. They took down, I believe it was Blaze in the first game. I believe it was Blaze. They took down one of them in the first game because they're both amazing teams. And we've seen them, Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, they played very well. They won that one. They took down teams like Fnatic, CJ Entus, and they've, come a long way in how little time they've been together.
Yeah, they're impressive. There's no doubt about that from SK Telecom. They can't be unhappy with how they've performed here. I mean, they've been outbeaten by the 2 strong Korean teams here. Both CJ Entus teams, of course, Frost and Blaze. So definitely going to be a sad moment, but also an achievement nonetheless.